Hey folks, Simon here, and welcome to another installment in How We Team, which is a playlist exploring the ins and the outs of building a team that truly hums. So I'm just back from a wonderful 3-day hiking and camping trip with my daughter and a couple of other friends. And wow, what a wonderful experience it was. Out in nature, complete isolation, beautiful views, great weather, hardly any mobile phone reception. We didn't even come across another soul on our whole trip. I mean, what a fabulous thing. And the reason I share this with you is because one of the most special elements of a trip like this, I think, is that moment when you arrive into a new campsite, just as the sun is starting to get close to the horizon and the cool air is creeping in. And so the first thing you do is start collecting wood so that you can create a little campfire. And that campfire is such a magical and special part of the evening, because not only is it something that you take warmth from, but it's something that as a group, and we were a small group, but as a group you can sit around and feel a sense of place and a sense of connection to one another. And then of course there's the rituals that happen around a campfire. There have to be marshmallows, there's the sharing of stories, and sometimes it's just about the staring into the fire for hours. I mean, what a wonderful thing. And I think there's a really powerful metaphor that comes out of this for any team. I reckon every team needs its own metaphorical campfire that it can sit around, have its rituals around, and keep stoking and tending to over time. In a literal sense, what is that campfire? So the campfire is now 5 key elements, and these represent, I think, 5 conversations that are the lick of the flame, the 5 sources of warmth. And those 5 conversations, which any team should have on an ongoing basis, are around, firstly, purpose. So purpose is, why do we exist? That's beyond our function, but the purpose now becomes, what impact, what difference do we seek to make in this organisation as a team, or in the marketplace, or with our customers, or in the industry? What really drives us, and is a purpose that each of us in this team can connect to. So that's the first lick of the flame. The second lick of the flame is aspiration. So aspiration is, well, beyond the work that we do, beyond the immediate goals at hand, beyond our contribution into the company goals, what's our aspiration as a team? Who do we seek to become? What difference do we seek to achieve? How will we measure our success in 18 months, 2 years, in a way that kind of represents an important journey for all of us? And then from that brings us to the third conversation, the third lick of the flame, which is focus. So given our aspiration and given our purpose, what then must we and do we want to focus on? Almost the big rocks that we have to push in order to achieve that aspiration. And these things that we're focused on are typically, again, a step beyond the strategic or the achievement of strategy or tactics that we use to achieve our immediate goals. But the focus is much more around things like, what are the capabilities that we're seeking to build, or the reputation or the relationships that we're seeking to shift. And let's get really zeroed in on those things, because they matter to us, to all of us. That brings us then to the fourth and the fifth of these conversations. So if the first 3 are about the why of our team and the what we're focused on, these next 2 are much more about the who we are. And so the fourth conversation is around values. And values is a term I think most of us would be familiar with in the context of teams and organisations. Values is really what we believe in, what we stand for. And when I think of a team, the values is what should differentiate that team from a similar group of experts, a similar group of people in another organisation. Because they're the things that really determine and shape the decisions we make and the choices we make. Which is why, even if you come up with a set of values that sound great and look good on a poster or on a coffee mug, words like teamwork, respect, collaboration probably aren't quite enough, unless they're also the things that help you understand they're the things that guide us at those moments that really challenge us, those moments of truth. So for a value to really be well articulated, I think it needs to be described in the context of the moments that truly test that value, the moments that test our resolve and we still come out holding true to that thing. And then the fifth and final conversation is what I describe as identity, which is where a team talks about how we see ourselves, what makes us us, how would we describe ourselves to each other, to people who want to join us, and how would we love to think that others within our organisation, other teams, other stakeholders, our customers, others in the market, how they might describe us. And then from that, what does it take for us to live into that? So if we describe ourselves as a group of people who are always pushing boundaries, who are always challenging things, how consistently do we live that? And if not, what can we do to raise the bar in that respect? So these 5 conversations, purpose, aspiration, focus, values, and identity, are all about the things that give us a sense of heat and connection to one another, which is so important in the context of teams. I wonder how those conversations might play out for you, because as with a campfire, you can't just have them once, set and forget. You might start the conversations, but then you need to keep tending to it over time, keep stoking the flames, adding new kindling, adding new fuel in order for that heat to continue. And I think it's exactly the same with these 5 conversations. You've got to keep coming back to them over time. Okay, so that's my thought for today, and hopefully there's an idea for you in the kind of conversation you might start back in your own team after this video. Let me know how you go, dropping your comments down below, and otherwise I look forward to seeing you in the next installment of How We Team. Bye for now.